Hey friends, thanks for joining me. Andrew Axum with Axum Outdoor Adventures. Gonna do a little update today on the wrist rocket. Posted a video recently on the Daisy B52 wrist rocket, and that video got a lot of interest. I think it struck a nostalgic chord with a lot of people, but several people had mentioned some modifications they'd seen, and I watched some of those videos, the links people had sent me, and made a few modifications to my own. And first thing I did was I just pulled off, well, the first thing I did was I pulled off the bands and have a little video of that. I think I took some video when I was doing that. So it was actually surprisingly easy to pull the bands off. They didn't have any adhesive on there that I could tell. I did get my calipers out, and I don't have the greatest calipers, but these were able to let me know that these are 2050 tubes. Pretty heavy for anything that I shoot. They did do pretty well with the 11 millimeter ammo if you saw the initial video, but these were just way too short for me. So after I had the tubes off of there, I was going to replace the handle, but I have to admit, I think they actually did pretty well with the handle. This thing's pretty comfortable. Reminds me a lot of a Wii controller, actually. But I just put some self-adhesive athletic tape, which actually I have a bag of different colors right there. And that's really been a big help to me. I keep it on a lot of my frames, and I've had a few people inquire what the wrap was, and that's what it is. You can get a 10 color bag for, I don't know, $6 or $7, I think, off of Amazon. So I really like that stuff, but that's what I put around here. I like the way that it feels, and I thought it kind of went well with the next edition, which was I braided a paracord lanyard. Been getting into paracording sort of as a hobby in and of itself lately, but primarily I got into it to make lanyards for slingshots. So what I did with this was I put a little loop around there so the lanyard actually goes through it. So you do have to put a little bit of pressure on it here to open it, but once you pull that top part open, you just slip your hand through there, and then you pull it tight, and I put a little, I don't know what you call that fastener, one of those on there. You cinch it tight, and you get that thing is really tight. That's tighter than the plastic band that came on it, which I kept the center of the plastic band there just kind of for nostalgia. But I cut the end caps off of the plastic band and stuck those back on there just to keep that lanyard on there. And I'm really happy with this. So yeah, that was a good improvement. Now with the bands, I did a couple of different things, and this is kind of what I settled on. And for pictures and stuff, I put some of that black self-adhesive athletic tape on there just to kind of make it a little more photogenic. But what's underneath there is, and I don't even like saying the word, but I ordered some castrating bands off of Amazon, and you get a pack of 250 for $5.71. These hold remarkably well. I have some long tubes on here now. I just kind of wanted to see what all I could do with this. So another thing I did was I put 2 inches of extra band on here, whereas I normally only use ½ an inch. I put 2 inches on there, and I'll show you the banding system. So let's head outside and take some shots with the long bands, and then we'll change out to some short bands and shoot some more. Down and to the right a little bit, but I hit the plate. Okay, so I'm going to take my bands And let me cut the tabs off. Forgot to do that. So I'm going to take my band and make sure I have it orientated the way I want it. And I'm going to make sure these rubber bands are down far enough out of the way. I'm going to put that band right in the center there. I hope you can see that. And I'm going to put the piece of tape kind of on top of it there, across it. Just going to kind of, we just want to hold it in place straight there. And we're going to roll. And initially I tried this with only one band, and it worked for a little while. I went with the 4 because I was shooting long draw. 2 would probably be sufficient for short draw, but since I already have 4 on here, why risk it? Just roll those up, kind of snug them together like a roll of lifesavers. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, check to make sure your bands are straight, have your orientation the way you want. Find your... Now I got the tape started, and I put the tape part way on the band and part way on the frame because I want it to hold both. So, and I roll one side around, and here's where it's easier to flip, I think. And pull it this way. Got that taped on there in place. Start rolling, but be gentle, because if you start tugging instead of rolling, which you do have to do a little bit of tugging to get in position, but if you just start out doing that, you're going to pull the bands off of there. Okay, so we have our precise 0.65s on there, and you can kind of adjust these a little bit. And I haven't tried it, but one thing I was thinking was you could possibly tune your bands a little bit using these. Slide it that direction if you want to make your bands a little shorter. I don't know, just an idea. We are in the backyard, and I have some shorter draw bands on here. These are cut at 5.5 active band length, which is my normal band length, but I have the extra 2 inches on here for the band attachment. So I've also switched out my regular Folgers crystals for 9.5 millimeter steel ammo. I'm going to just take a few shots and just see how accurate you can be with one of these revamped wrist rockets. Start on the plate. Just down and to the right a little bit. These do have a little wider fork gap than the Scout LT or the Wasp Enzo, which are the 2 frames that I primarily shoot and a lot of people shoot. If you're used to a frame about that size, and I forget exactly what they are, these are just slightly bigger. These come in at 3.625 inches, which is 92.5 millimeters. So a little bigger than the LT or the Enzo. And I'm also normally an 8 millimeter shooter. And this is 9.5. So I'm accounting for that. Kind of a new experience for me. Let's go ahead and take 3 more shots. That grip doesn't feel good. All right, I think that's fine. Oh, that's only 4. See if I can nail this one right in the center of the pouch. Not being used to 9.5, my grip's a little off with it, but I like it. Oh, yes. That was not the can I hit. I actually did get it right in the center. So with the wrist rocket, I believe that was my first shot, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So I was getting a little closer to the target there every time. And that was from 10 meters. And I've only been shooting with this with short draw today. Yesterday I shot long draw with it all day. So pretty much what you just saw out here is all I've been shooting this today. And that's pretty good, I think, for 5 shots with a wrist rocket. You can definitely be pretty accurate with these. Let me see if I can hit that can just for fun. There we go. So this thing is a lot of fun. If you get your hands on one of these, whether it's at Goodwill or somebody finds one in their basement or whatever the case, you can have a lot of fun with this. Change the bands out for sure. Again, you can buy 250 castration bands on Amazon for $5.71. Make a lot of cows happy. You don't have to put this extensive of a lanyard on there, but you can upgrade one of these for if you want to get pre-made bands. I don't know, you could probably sink $10, $15 into it and have yourself a really fun, accurate tool. I did get some requests from viewers of my initial Daisy wrist rocket video that if I do an update to shoot it through a chronograph. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with some 9.5 millimeter, see what kind of speeds this gives us. .213.5 for the first one. 216.4. So 213, we'll call it 215. Up to 215 range for 9 millimeter out of this. And I believe Daisy's website says you can get up to 200 feet per second with their wrist rocket, which I don't see any way possible with the bands they had on it. But we've already exceeded that with these bands. And that was 9.5, so let's try some 8 and see what it does. .233.2. .240.7. So we're getting about, what we say, 215 out of the 9.5 millimeter and 235 out of 8 millimeter. Definitely more than the 200 that Daisy advertises. I believe that was correct. Don't email me if it was something else, but they definitely advertised the speed. I'm sure they wouldn't have been bragging about 100 feet per second. Now, is this a great slingshot for new shooters? If it's all you can get your hands on, absolutely. But you know, sticks are always available too. You can make a natural fork. But if you're gonna actually invest money in something as a first slingshot, I would recommend the Scout LT. This is one of my favorite slingshots. And if you don't already have slingshot equipment and material, you're gonna spend some money anyway. So you could get a quality slingshot from Simple Shot for about $40, I think. And the Wasp Enzo, another one of my favorites. These are my two favorite frames. These are, I don't know, 25 pounds, I think. You can do the math on the US dollars. These are a little harder to get in the US. These are a little harder to get in Europe, but both quality slingshots. So think about one of these, but if this is all you can get, definitely fix it up a little bit. And if you already have one or you can get a hold of one and add it to your collection, you won't regret it. You can hunt with this thing. Speaking of hunting, I plan on doing some rabbit hunting this fall. I live in a state where it happens to be legal to hunt with a slingshot. Fortunately, Indiana allows that. So if you're interested in slingshot hunting, join me. I'm going to video my journey and getting ready for it and actually going out and hunting and hopefully doing some actual videos of me getting some rabbits. If that sounds like something that interests you, or if you've enjoyed this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to go down and hit subscribe. Remember to give us a like and also hit the bell notification so you'll get alerts the next time I get a new slingshot or I go hunting or anything. Thanks for watching.